So we have a little bit of baby movement going on while Ivy's eating. It's not the biggest amount of movement that we've seen so far, but it's pretty significant. If you watch her, you can see when she breathes, her stomach right here kind of goes up and goes in and out. So you kind of have to watch, know that that's happening. And then anything besides that's baby. Oh. Yeah, it's baby's moving a little bit there and she's reacting to it. She's getting a little anxious with it. So the past 2 days, one thing is this line right here was not there. So that's her ribs, okay? There, they go pretty far back there. And that line was not there. So this belly has dropped. Or at least, hey baby, you come in and say, hey, you think I got something to eat because I'm putting my hand out? I don't. I'm sorry. Yeah, don't you do that. Don't you do that. Sweet girl. Sweet girl. She's all over me right now because she thinks I have food. But this belly really, when I say it's dropped, I don't want you to think it's closer to the ground. It's more like she's kind of spread this way. She's got a little wider. But there's also definitely a significant change in what we're seeing. As my husband calls it, topography. The topography has definitely changed on this belly. It was just a smooth round belly, and now we got a pooch right there. We got a line underneath her ribs. So that's just been the past 2 days. Yesterday, my husband came out and said, woof, she's gotten bigger. And I looked and I said, yep, you're right. She sure has. And for the longest time, there was no movement with this baby. Now we're seeing movement just about every day. Just some days more movement than others. And he's, of course, as soon as I'm saying something, the baby's kind of calmed down a little bit. But, and that's just how it goes. I put the camera on her stomach and all of a sudden baby's just quiet. That was a little bit of something. I don't know if you saw it, but underneath here, underneath right there, you can kind of see a little jump. But like you said, the main thing is, don't mistake that breathing right there for baby movement, because that's not what's going on. That's just her breathing. And her belly seems to go in and out when she breathes, which is kind of interesting because we think about the lungs expanding and them being up in here. But when she breathes, you see it in her tummy. And so that's always a little confusing whenever you're looking for baby movement. Oh, do you see that? That was definitely baby kicking. You kind of saw that in here. You kind of saw that little jump in there. Let's see if we'll see something else. And this baby's getting big enough that when it jumps, she reacts. And oh, there we go. There was another one. She's about to run out of food, so she's going to walk away from us. She's about to eat all of her hay. But this is what I've been doing a lot of, just sitting out here and staring at this belly, watching that baby move. Oh, that was a kick. It's very interesting to watch. Oh, there was another one. Yeah, this baby is so ready to get out. The vet's already told us this is a very big baby, and like I said, we don't know when she was bred, so we're going on a best guess. And when the vet came out to look at her, the only way to tell the age of the baby is by looking at the baby's eyeball. And well, she can't see the baby's eyeball because the baby's head is all up in here, because the baby's in a diver position, just like you want to see somebody diving off a diving board. That's what the baby is. The baby's head's in a diver position up in here somewhere, but his back is turned, so his back is actually, it's a very uncomfortable looking position. His back's actually down here, and then his back feet are curled up. So when he's moving, those legs are just a kicking, but his front legs, like I said, are up in this position up here. So all this down here, see that whole thing right there? That's all baby. Probably, oop, there we go, another kick. Probably all that right there is baby. Getting up in this area, of course, right? And you know, here, I don't know how much of this is going to be baby. I'm not a vet. I'm just looking at pictures online and kind of judging. But this right here, this is good section right here, especially. That's all baby. All up under here, that's baby. That's actually, that might be where the his bony little butt's going. And I say he, I don't know. It might be a girl, but oh, Lord have mercy. Ivy, Ivy, Ivy. But that is just so much baby to carry around. And like I said, the vet said this was a very big baby. That was a little something. A little something right in there. Vet said this was a very big baby. And it's possibly that she was in originally with a horse. And if that's the case, and this is a baby mule, and it explains, since she's a mini donkey, why the baby's so big. We are watching her pretty close because the baby's so big. Now, the vet didn't say this, but I think it's just, you know, kind of understood that because the baby's so big, when she goes to have it, we're, you know, wanting to make sure that she once she starts to finish, it should only take about 30 minutes. So we're watching her pretty close for any signs of baby coming. She's getting checked on several times a day. She gets checked on before we go to bed at night. If she's acting funny at all before we go to bed, we're checking on her at 3 o'clock in the morning too. One, we want the baby to get here safely, but two, we don't want anything to happen to Ivy if something does happen with the baby. So that's why we're looking at her pretty close. We check on her, like I said, several times a day. She gets checked on. But when they start to have the baby, it happens very, very quickly. So, you know, like I said, 30 minutes, and that's actually way too long. Got to call the vet if something's wrong. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't take a long time. Once they start pushing anyway, it's go time. So it's very likely that we'll just walk out here one morning and there's going to be another set of legs out here walking around, but that's okay. We're okay with that. There was another little bump. There was another little bump. And I'm not going to say it's unusual, but from what I've been learning, seeing movement in a horse's stomach or a donkey's stomach, an equine stomach, is it's not real noticeable very often. So this has been kind of fun because pretty much if you sit out here long enough during the day, she just sighed, there's movement. This baby is feisty. And I think 3 weeks ago maybe, we came out here one day and poor thing, she couldn't get comfortable, she couldn't lay down, he just would not stop moving, and she kept looking at us That belly would move and she'd stare at us like it was our fault. We're like, we're not the one you need to talk to. You need to talk to whoever's in your belly. Y'all need to get together. But yeah, I keep waiting for a couple more good bumps before I stop the video. But we've only had Ivy since it was like July or August. We got her of 2020. Did not know she was pregnant. The lady just kind of needed to get rid of her, so we took her. She had only had her for about 6 months, and we think that the reason why she's been tossed around, she's 7 years old now, and we think the reason she's been tossed around so much, from what we can tell, is she doesn't have the best personality. I mean, she's a donkey, but people who get donkeys for pets especially want them to be cuddle bugs, and she's just not that donkey. So, that's I think why she's been tossed around so much her whole life, is she just, you know, in general, she's maybe not the most friendly donkey on the planet. So we got her, and we said, well, you know what, no matter what's going on, so long as she's not messing with our other animals and hurting anybody, she's got a life here. We have no reason to get rid of her. And about October is when I looked at her and said, you know what, I think she's gaining weight. And it's just been a story ever since. And oh, well, there's Globus coming to check to see if Ivy left anything behind. Did she? No. I'm sorry. Silly boy.